Hello everyone, welcome back to the Zach GP channel, and I am live before the race. It's the pre-race F1 Fantasy show. So for anyone who was new to this, basically I just go through live, going through how well the weekend's been for everyone so far, as of course the deadline's happened, so you can't change anything with your teams. However, we can have a chat about how it's going, how it could go in the race, a few other things. I'm going to look through my polls on Twitter as well, and I'll start off with exactly how it's gone for me. And I sort of tweeted it the exact way it's gone. It's a mixed bag. So we'll come over to my Limitless team because I'm going to show you 3 separate teams as to how I'm sort of doing it in a minute. And bear in mind, there's still a full race to go where we get most of the points. So Limitless, of course. Verstappen is the main issue. Antonelli actually on 4 points. Okay. Thank God Verstappen's on pole because he can live with that. Limitless, realistically at the minute, hasn't worked out. If you played it safe and had Piastri as a 2 times, it's kind of gone the wrong way. And this is what I was sort of talking about. Actually, I'll get the chat up as well. This is what I was sort of talking about when I was saying with Limitless, you've got to go balls to the wall and just go for it if you're going to go for it. And that's why I did like the Norris 2 times, as basically, no one's got Norris if you've got one of the bigger teams. At least no one in like the top 100k ranks. No one really has Norris. So I would be very happy if Norris took the lead into turn 1, blew everything away, got driver of the day, fastest lap, all of that good stuff. Because not a lot of people have Lando Norris, meaning the Limitless would then actually be brilliant. Same sort of situation with Verstappen. If he did the exact same thing, I could be happy with that as well, because again, it's not as much as the 2 times, but not a lot of people have Verstappen, so it works the exact same way. So Limitless wise, I'm still hanging on because I 2 times Norris. Yes, it hasn't been perfect, but I can live with that. I'm still in a positive delta to my normal teams, which is good considering we're heading into it. Now, normal team-wise, no negative, would have been 16 points behind. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I would have brought in Alonso if I didn't if I didn't Limitless this weekend. So that's okay. No negative would have already worked out. However, I would have been minus 0.6 in budget. So also look on the bright side of things as well. The budget building is looking great for my Limitless team as well. And then if I hadn't used no negative, 99 points. So comparing myself at least, because it's hard to compare to other teams by yourself. Let me get up the chat as well. It's hard to compare yourself to other teams when you don't know exactly sorry, my bad. I got distracted by the chat. You don't know exactly where everyone else is going, but at least I know from a perspective of what I would have done, I'm still looking good, which is the main thing at least, because I would have been so annoyed if that hadn't have happened. Hello everyone. Hello Radio, how you doing? I'm sorry I didn't have the chat up when you asked that. Could you say exactly will it happen for what? Hey Rude, how you doing, man? Hello Magic, hope you're all doing brilliantly. It's about an hour till the race. I'm really excited for it. Does anyone actually have the race up? Because for the F1 Academy, it was pissing it down. We'll see exactly if it carries on like that. Again, it's the exact same thing I was battering on about on the deadline stream. If it rains, time for crashes, mayhem and stuff, but less overtakes. So you take it with a pinch of salt. Stuff can happen. But yeah, and all of it is loss of price rise. I'll get onto that actually. And all of it is the reason why Limitless is still okay is no one actually. Let me get up so Yuki Tsunoda. No one has Yuki Tsunoda. Don't look at my GP2 team. That's actually. He'll probably be in the chat later on. But look at that. Look at that. By the way, 2 times Lance Stroll's 40 points. You're gonna love to see it. What was I gonna show? Right. What was that? Yuki Tsunoda. Right. Sorry, my bad. Yuki Tsunoda has a 5% pick. And he's the top scoring person. So his points don't matter. They really don't matter because none of the big teams will have had him. Lance Stroll, his pick, 10%. Again, Stroll is the GOAT. Yeah. By the way, that now means he's got 13 points to Alonso's 0. In what world are we living? That is happening. It's ridiculous. But again, Lance Stroll, not got a lot of points, so we can live with that. And not got a lot of points. I mean, not been picked by a lot of people. You really have to go down to Behrman, which is the first issue on normal teams. Because then people like Ocon, Bortoletto, Lawson, Antonelli, all of them, they're all sitting around like Antonelli's price, Antonelli's points, and Antonelli will most likely beat them in the race. Then for Lawson needs 8 points to increase 0.6, so most likely Lawson will this weekend. Realistically, Behrman, he's set unless he gets a DNF to get 0.6. Hadjar, he's got a lot of work to do, but he can still do it. Lawson, set for it. Bortoletto, definitely going to get a 0.2 if he doesn't crash. Potentially gets 10 points. Alonso, he's done out. That's a shame. Ocon will definitely get 0.2. Hopefully he can get up to that 12. Doohan, probably it's going to be difficult, but maybe he can get that 0.2. Albon, he's looking good. No, he's not actually. He was looking good until the issue. So Albon's going to struggle to gain points as well. Not points, gain budget. Stroll actually is on par for 0.6 million. So Stroll might be coming into people's teams, into Imola. If he just gets like 5 to 10 points in this race, he's coming back into a few people's teams. Carlos Sainz, again, almost worked out. But, no, did it almost work out? My bad. Yeah, no, hang on. Where was he before the crash? Yeah, it almost worked out until he crashed. And then, of course, you have going down to Sonoda. Sonoda potentially is not a great budget person, end all. So we're probably not going to see a lot of that. And same with Hulkenberg. It doesn't change much there. Then what we got. So how many points delta are you expecting over a regular team with Piastri, Mercedes, McLaren? Well, let's do a little bit of a quick maths on this. So if I go back to the live scoring, McLaren and Mercedes, I'm expecting McLaren to get 100 plus points this weekend. That doesn't matter. Of course, every team's going to have them. Mercedes, again, every team has them. Don't need to worry about it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Actually, let me get the calculator up on my other side. So, this is the perfect scenario, okay? In a perfect scenario, Norris, yeah, and this is pure points to the big teams, okay? Norris gets 25 points for the win, 10 points fastest lap, 10 points driver of the day. So that means he ends on 65 points. Of course, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying this is the perfect scenario for me. Would mean Norris would get me 130 points, and most people would not have that. So the delta between a Piastri, who would probably have around 60 points. So in a perfect scenario, I'm hoping that Norris can have a delta of around 50 to 70 points to the Piastri 2 times. Then, if we go down to someone like Russell and Behrman, I'm hoping Russell can beat him by about... Russell can get around 20 to 30 points. Behrman hopefully won't get more than 20, so that will be a 10-point threshold. So let's say at the minute we're sitting at a 60-point threshold. Bear in mind, I'm taking liabilities because there's not much. I can't predict the future. I'm just saying if it all works out in the end, this is exactly how it played. Antonelli, again, compared to Ocon, who was in my team. And I'm going to use Bortoletto as well to be kinder because Alonso didn't really work out. Ocon's sitting on 6 points to Antonelli's 4. However, if he just sticks in the top 5, let's say he gets 2 positions lost, he finishes 10th. He gets 2 overtakes though, so he gets plus 10 points, finishes on 14 to Ocon's 8. Let's say he gets 6 extra points to the Ocon delta. Then Bortoletto, let's say he finishes on 5 to 10 points to Verstappen's. Let's say Verstappen finishes second, he would get 17 points plus a few overtakes maybe. Let's say Verstappen ends with 20 points. I could see the delta being around, to normal teams, 70 to 90 points if things still work out for the Limitless teams. Now, that's actually probably around 10 to 20 points less potentially than what happened in Jeddah. However, I can live with that considering how sprint race went and how it almost went even worse than that. So I'm expecting, I'm going to put a ballpark of around 70 to 90 points ahead of the rest of the normal teams, which I'll happily take, If And dear God, please do not have any more DNFs. I cannot handle another DNF. Well, I haven't had a DNF yet, but Verstappen's... It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. It was Red Bull's fault. But my words, how could that happen? It was just it was a nightmare. It was straight up a nightmare to happen with it. Verstappen and Antonelli. Hoo-wee. I wasn't too happy. But right, I actually want to get your guys' opinions on. So who actually went for Limitless in the end, and who went for no negative? Which chip did you use? Limitless, no negative, and nothing. Or just other, you know, I'll just put other. Because by the end of it, we were getting like quite ramped up with people changing their mind over to no negative, and I believe it ended up being about a 50-50 split between people going Limitless and no negative. I think about that, because I think most people who weren't going to use Limitless ended up using no negative. But here's the thing as well, right? Yeah. Of course you did, mate. Of course you did. I'm not being mean to that person. I know them. What was it called? I've lost my train of thought now. Right. Limitless in Imola is kind of a bit scary now, though. So let's just have a look at some of the live scoring. Okay. So Alonso, I think, is the big issue, because a lot of people, and I do think this is what can you do? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where F1 Fantasy gods saw we were having a debate over Lawson and Alonso, and then they decided, we should just make them crash. How great would that be? So then Lawson crashes out Alonso. Lawson gets a 5-second penalty. So both of them are kind of in the mud. Lawson less so. But if you add Alonso, you're probably still going to Limitless in Imola, because I think we're running out of time for anything to happen, which is a bit of an issue. By the way, that's a lot more of a split for Limitless than I thought would be. I thought it'd be a bit more on 50-50. So it's going to be... That's another thing, because yes, I might get a little bit less on the Limitless Delta points-wise. However, if we scroll back to what my team actually looks like, realistically, I'm going to get, after this weekend, 0.3 from McLaren. Sorry, I'll get to my budget building in a second. Magic says, would you have picked no negative or Limitless if you could change in the last hour before the deadline? Well, here's the thing, because I set up my teams for the Fan Amp live stream. So I'd set my team, annoyingly, using Limitless an hour before the deadline. And of course, half an hour before the deadline was when all the craziness happens. Now, I'm in two minds about this, because when I set my mind to something, I do just like going to it, sort of thing. So I probably would have stuck with Limitless, even if, and just risked it for a chocolate biscuit. I think that's still what I would have done. I would have probably thought about no negative a bit more. However, if I didn't change to Alonso, and I'm being serious here, if anyone didn't have Alonso, no negative at the minute hasn't really worked crazy. So just remember that as well. So I'm still happy I didn't go no negative. But then also, Magic asks, what happens if the GP is suspended? Well, if the Grand Prix is suspended, I believe, sorry, I got distracted by a comment. If the Grand Prix doesn't happen, I believe that we would just get points for 1st to 10th, which would be even better for Limitless, because there's no overtaking for the smaller drivers and constructors, which would then mean the delta would go up. I would happily take, but actually we would lose driver of the day and fastest lap. So, actually, it's a bit of a mixed bag, actually, when you think about it a bit more. Yes, no overtaking, all of the cheaper drivers wouldn't get anything, but then the big constructors who are most likely going to get driver of the day and fastest lap wouldn't get that. So actually, I don't want that to happen. I don't know. See, I was talking about this in the Fan App live stream as well. So we were talking about the deadline being moved when the race got delayed. I don't think the algorithm is fancy enough for that. I really do think if it did get like completely cancelled, they would just do race order, starting grid, and give the points out. I genuinely don't think F1 Fantasy is that smart. I switched out Alonso for Bortoleto because I decided Miami had too many unknowns. Joe, very good move. Honestly, I was big on Alonso because I thought the experienced driver, he would be fine. And like I said, then it ended up with Lawson and Alonso being in that spat. And yeah, it means that Bortoleto 100% was the better option, as Bortoleto is so safe. No matter what happens now, you're good to go. If Grand Prix is suspended, which is a bit. Here we go. Limitless 44%, no negative 33%. That's a bit more of what I thought it'd be. But back to what I was talking about my team is, so Limitless in Imola, if you've got Alonso, probably still going to happen. But now you're getting that minus 0.6, which is a bit of a nightmare. However, my team at the minute is going to get a 0.3 from McLaren, up to 0.9 because of the 0.6 on Haas. 0.3 from Piastri, 1.2. Behrman, 0.6, so 1.8. Ocon, Ocon, how close is he to it now? So I'm at 1.8. Ocon, I think he can get 6 points in the race. 100% he can get 6 points in the race. I'm going to put him as another 0.6. So Ocon 2.4, and Hadjar, let's keep him at a 0.2 then. So I'm expecting around a 2.6 million in budget. And that's the thing, it's brilliant. So budget-wise, at least if I don't get the crazy delta I was looking for in Limitless, at least it still worked out budget-wise, because 2.6 million compared to the likes of what's gonna happen here, I mean, it would just be the Alonso move, wouldn't it? So it would be 2.6 compared to, because I have to put it with Alonso because I was 100% going to use Alonso. And it's not like a thing of, oh, I'm trying to keep the budget different. I would have used I would 100%, I can tell you now, I would have used Alonso in my team if I didn't Limitless. So that's minus 0.6, minus 0.4, 0.2, 0.8, 1.1, and 1.4. So it would have been 2.6 to 1.7. So at least I've got that difference in budget delta if anything goes wrong. Yeah, see, I'll keep it. I'll keep lowballing it though for now, Ors, just in case. I think Ocon, I'm pushing it, saying he's gonna rise 0.6, and Hadjar, I'll keep it at a 0.2 for now because both teams have Hadjar, so it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, I'll turn it up. My bad. Hopefully that's better. In the chat, it should be a little bit better now. Tell me if I need to twist the knob a little bit more. I don't know why it does this as well, by the way, because I must bump it or something. Anyway, what did I get up to? I didn't use any chips and managed 115 till quali. Yeah, 115 is good. So what would have that been? What would that? Oh, perfect. All right, sweet. 115. Who did you have that fumbled? Because that's one person that's spoiling the party, right? Or maybe not so spoiling the party. Maybe it could have been a signs or something. Meletios says, round 6 today, and from round 1 to 6, I have 3 DNFs. Not going so good. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? DNFs, they're a nightmare in F1 Fantasy, and there's genuinely nothing you can do about it, and it sucks. It does suck. DNF shouldn't be more than minus 10, and it's just the game's... Whatever, the game's just the game, isn't it? Right, what was it as well? What was I going to say? Oh, right, yes. So, sticks. How much delta for Limitless is good? I would say if we could recover this weekend, and bear in mind, try to keep it to your own team because, of course, people are going to get, like, different sorts of teams. But, like, think of the team you were going to use normally and then look at your Limitless team. And if you can get better... If you can get... 70's lowballing it is not amazing, but 70 plus delta compared to a normal team is still a decent Limitless. You really want to have 100 plus, but anything more than 70 and you can carry on with your life and you're still in the season with plenty to go. If it's less than 70, you're going to be struggling. We had the benefit of debating until deadline last year, missing that really now. Yeah, sure, I can add it a bit more. Blop. There you go. Yeah, it's magic. It is what it is. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to do more live streams on this channel as well, though, at the same time. So I like doing the pre-race, and then my post-race is going to be a little bit weird. The post-race is going to be after I get back from work, so the race is going to end around, for me, 11ish tonight, and then I'll go to sleep, go to work, and then I'll, around 7:30 p.m. British Summer Time, be on for the post-race. But that is sort of like the live stream, because we've got such a break. It's sort of like the normal live stream I would have done. Hajar only negative. Alvin dropped from 12 to 6. I thought it was more than that. Yeah, isn't he on? Yeah, he's on 2 points now, isn't he? When you think we use Limitless now, it's nothing's changed really. It's still Imola or Monaco, and I really do think if you push it past Monaco, the issue is, right, especially with how Antonelli's looking now, I think we might even be able to just push it to Antonelli. The issue with waiting after Monaco is we're gonna have a lot of teams being able to run stuff like this. So actually, Alonso's a prime example, because Alonso's gonna be. Actually, can we just like. Can we like deep this as well? Alonso at, what is he, 6.2 million? He's going to get 0.6 negative this weekend. So he's down to 5.6. Imola, another minus 0.6. By Monaco, Alonso, more likely than not, will have hit the the price threshold at 4.5 million. He's going to be a steal if he can just keep it on the track, of course. So we're going to be having McLaren, Mercedes, Norris, Piastri, Antonelli, Bortoletto, Alonso, and probably someone like Hajar. And they're still going to be working for budget building as well. And then, of course, it doesn't look crazy this weekend, because obviously Hajar's not doing too hot on Alonso. But these teams aren't far away, and that's what I'm just keep on trying to stress about Limitless. Because I generally think I could get to a team like this by Monaco. By Monaco, 100%, I think I'll have the budget to get to a team like this. Because I'm already only 3-4 million off. And Miami, I'm going to get around 2.5 to 3 million increase in value. And then Imola, similar. So it really is one of those things. You have to get it done before people start getting Antonelli in their team. Because then all of a sudden, your Limitless is only 3 different drivers, which isn't a crazy delta to be working with to get up to that like 100-point threshold that you kind of want to have your delta to your normal team. Classic 50-50 between Alonso and Lawson, and of course I chose Alonso. Yeah, no, it is bullshit, I'll give you that. And it's actually crazy how it was both of them colliding together. Genuinely, you couldn't have written a storyline better than that. It genuinely felt like Arava level script writing. I genuinely, when I saw it, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, why did it have to be both of those two crashing after Alonso genuinely looked so solid for his first points as well? And then Lawson gets the penalty, so he gets screwed over as well. Actually, yeah, go on. I'll put this in the chat as well. Whose fault was it? I'm still team Alonso. But I've seen people online also still saying that they think it was Alonso's fault because he should have given more space. But again, his corner, he can do whatever he wants, sort of thing. Whose fault was the Alonso and Lawson crash? So I'm team Lawson's fault still. So I do think he deserved that 5 seconds. But it's just annoying because those two are the ones realistically that everyone picked and chose. And somehow Lawson, because he started so low, still actually ended up with a position gain. So he didn't even, it's not perfect. He would have had brilliant points if he hadn't have had it. But he got away with it. Lawson needs to go, man. Honestly, I will say, if he carries on this form, it will be Hajar and Lindblad next season. So he's got to be a little bit careful. And I don't think he's shown enough to go to any other team. Like, I don't think Cadillac would take him. I don't think anything would happen like that. No, honestly, it's actually crazy, the switch up that people have had on Lawson. Because I remember at the start of the season, not the start of the season, when Perez got fired and we found out Lawson was taking that seat, I was like, what? I was Team Yuki Tsunoda from day one, and I was like, this is ridiculous. And people were like, no, Lawson's like a good solid chunk of people were like, Lawson's fine, he'll do well. They're apparently on similar levels. Yeah, similar levels, my arse. He was nowhere. So he's got to be a little bit careful now. Bear in mind, this is still his rookie season, so we've got to be careful. It is only Verstappen and Kimi Crash that has hit us so far. Yeah, which is... You know what? I genuinely can't... I don't understand it. How can Red Bull go from the best stoppers in 2024 to this shambles of a team we've seen right now? How many pit stop mistakes are they going to have? And it's cost us. Oh, it's cost us. Antonelli would have finished P3, P4. So Antonelli's lost a good 8 points because he wouldn't have had so many positions lost. No, maybe 6 points. Let's say Antonelli lost 6 points. And Verstappen, well, bloody hell, Verstappen, he could have finished P4, P5, P3. Let's say he finished P5, being quite pessimistic about him. He still would have got 3 points from that. How would that have worked out, actually? Yeah, no, because then with the qualifying points. So we've lost out on a good 20-ish points, I would say, from all of this. Yeah, I heard about that as well, Luke. That's how bad it's got at Red Bull. I don't think they've had to do that before. And that just shows they've got to really be careful. I tell you what. Are you gonna do a watch along at some point? The thing with a watch along, and it's one of those things, I will potentially one day I will. It's just the issue with what's it called? Watch alongs is I like watching the races with other people. So because when you're doing a watch along, it is fun, but it's literally just the screen there, and I like relaxing. I like having a drink with it, and relaxing, watching the race. So it's one of those things where I probably would do it a couple of times this season, maybe, because I think I would have it where it's shows the F1 live timings, and then I'd have Now TV on my own screen so I could see what's going on. So I will do it a couple of times, I think, when I'm not doing anything else, like I'm not at someone's house or anything like that. The issue is I do that quite a lot. So yeah, it won't ever be too many times, but you never know. I might, maybe I'll see. It would be one of those things I did quite spontaneously if I've not got anything going on, sort of thing. With George's performance lately and Red Bull's issues, Max in Mercedes is not a dream anymore. Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk about how Mercedes are literally just waiting for Antonelli to be on par with Russell, and then they're going to sack him off. I don't think that's going to happen, but I wouldn't put it past F1 teams being ruthless. We know what they're like. Yeah, Limitless this weekend is turning out to be rough. Well, Trevor, that's the thing. It's rough depending on what you've done. So it's actually crazy how lucky I've got with this. I'm actually still in a decent, Magic, it's sort of like that, yeah. But, sorry, train of thought, lost. If you had Norris 2 times, you're actually still looking pretty decent on Limitless. But let me just show you what the other Limitless teams look like. And this is the issue. So if you had Piastri, so I'll show Adam's Limitless, because this is the sort of stuff which is... I feel bad for Adam at this point, because his one will be at 136. Now, it's not a lot less than mine. Hang on, what have I done differently there? How are they so close? Oh, of course, Norris gets the extra 5 points. So that's a little bit more worrying, considering Piastri's in P4. And then you also have McLaren, Mercedes, Norris, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli, Verstappen. Some people did Verstappen 2 times. Now, if he can do brilliant in the race, we're still living life. But 120 is actually below all of the rest of the teams, and that's where it'd be a little bit of an issue. But right now, Limitless can still get around 70 to 90 points delta potentially get to that 100 point as well. I should say 71 to 100, which will still be a good Limitless weekend, considering my budget will be going up more than if I didn't use Limitless. So I'll still take that. But yeah, if you had Piastri, unless he has a brilliant race, it's kind of ropes at the minute. Do you think Limitless Imola is still doable with Alonso? Yeah, it still is doable. It's just now, he's just now getting to that point where you're going to have to take the hit. And because we're getting so close, we're getting close to those budget movers where we're moving over to more points focused teams. So you're going to be losing more and more points the more you move, hold on to the Limitless. We already took the -20 hit last week, remember? Yeah, okay. True. If we take that into consideration, I would say I'd be happy with a 70 to 80 point delta. Realistically, I'm not kidding. We need Norris and Verstappen to behave, first of all. None of this malarkey going into the first corner, crashing into them. And then if Norris wins, we're sitting pretty with life. We'll probably get the 100 plus threshold if Norris wins compared to normal teams, or at least compared to the team you would have normally run. And still with Verstappen, if he goes and gets a gazillion points, obviously not a gazillion points, but if he wins the race, fastest lap driver of the day, that still gains us an extra 30-ish points on the delta. And then Norris just sitting in second still works out good enough. Last I checked, and there was 50% chance of rain, but a 2% tornado chance. Honestly, I'd take a tornado at this point. Who's getting sucked up into the tornado? Also, by the way, 90% for Lawson would get it. No, of course, that would be quite interesting, seeing a tornado on an F1 track. They would not let them race if that happened. Does anyone actually have the race up? Actually, let me get it up as well. I'll get it up, and sadly I have to turn the volume down because I'm not trying to get a lot of stuff from F1. Hey, Barack Obama's in the chat. We love to see Barack Obama here. I can't remember when you first popped up, but it was a long time ago. So this guy's been in the channel for a very long time. So big up to Obama. Antonelli driving the day after pole and his race messed up. Doing my best predictions. Yeah, also. So here's the other things. If we get like a spread of points. So if Norris does first or second, it's a good delta if he beats Piastri. We just need him to get more points than Piastri because most teams have Piastri. And if Antonelli gets driver of the day, good delta points for our teams because then he, obviously, yeah, he gets an extra 10 points. Verstappen, if he wins the race, good for our delta. So realistically, there's two options right now that we need. Either Norris runs away with things, gets everything. Verstappen runs away with things and gets everything. Or Norris or Verstappen wins the race. Antonelli gets driver of the day for keeping in the podium, something like that. All of those we need. But funnily enough, unless you had Piastri 2 times, if you don't have Piastri 2 times, we want him to finish 4th and 5th. Genuinely, we need him to finish 4th and 5th so the deltas can go up higher. Should I be wishing for a Grand Prix suspension? Well, that's the thing as well. I was contemplating that. I remember someone asking about it being cancelled, and I thought, oh great, no overtakes for the lesser teams, meaning we'd get like Norris, Verstappen getting loads of points. But if there was no race, it would then mean we get no driver of the day, no fastest lap, no fastest pit stop points, and then the B tier constructors get closer to the A tier constructors. And the A tier drivers actually don't get those big 10 plus point stuff that we usually get. So actually, we don't want that to happen. Give me the names that voted Alonso. Anyone who voted Alonso, or he wants to fight in the chat. I'd love to see this go down. What about those likes? What are we looking at on the likes? I haven't actually looked. Oh, I'll like it myself as well. We're on 12 now. Woo. Can you explain Limitless in Imola and not in a sprint week? Right, yeah, of course. So, Limitless in Miami, there's two main issues right now. First of all, the sprint race was not the best. Second of all, we actually get quite a few overtakes in Miami just because there's more racing, and that's what people were saying because actually the delta could be a bit lower. However, in Imola, you don't get that issue. So you don't get any overtakes. because you can't overtake in Imola. So that's why people like that as an idea of Limitless. However, there are a few drawbacks because, of course, in Miami, we got to choose our teams. Technically, we got to see what was better. It didn't really work out that way. But, I mean, it actually kind of did because then qualifying went exactly the same way. But in Imola, you don't get to choose those teams. So, yes, overtaking will be less. So the delta probably could go higher. But you got less overtaking, which is good. However, you can't predict your team as well. Like, we could have a surprise Ferrari appearance and then you kind of screwed over sort of thing. Or Ferrari could look in practice. Everyone chooses them. Then Mercedes come out and look good sort of thing, which could screw you over as well. And then also, what was the other thing in Imola? I think that was it. Generally, that was it. It's just less overtakes than Miami would. So the delta could be higher. That's it for why people would go Imola. And why people went Jeddah as well. Did Red Bull change the... they're using their alternative crew at the minute, apparently. I've been told this in the chat, and I've been told this by someone. So I say someone. It's not like it's not a crazy source, right? It's not a reliable source. I'm pretty sure I just got told word to word when talking to people. Without Antonelli is driving, fastest lap is split between Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, and hopefully it's Norris. Actually, you know what? I could have Red Bull having fastest lap. Not many people have Red Bull, so that wouldn't work out too bad. That's the thing, Miletios. If we wait for Spa, which is a big issue. Yes, the sprint race, we get all of the good stuff from a sprint race, all fun and games. However, by that point, most people are going to be able to run teams like this one here, Team 5. Where is it? Well, we have Antonelli. We could even have Russell in those teams. So then eventually we get to the point where if you wait till Spa, you're going to only really have, when you play Limitless, 3 different assets compared to everyone else. Whereas right now, we have 4 different assets to the normal teams. And it may not seem like a lot, but that can be the difference between taking 20 to 30 points less home on a Limitless weekend. Didn't Terry say it in the fan app show? Wait, Luke, what did Terry say about what's that in answering to? Looks like weather is going to play a big potential role today. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Let me get up the live stream so I can actually see how much it's still raining. Because it's still flip-flopping. It's very much like yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. Yesterday, where it's going to potentially be raining every now and then. But we don't know, will it start wet? I mean, it's been torrential rain before. Like right now, look at it. Right now, I'm looking at the telly and I can see Jensen. It's clear. Well, I can't say clear skies, but it's completely sunny. The track looks dry. So, yes, it's probably going to be mixed conditions, if anything, if that starts happening, which hopefully doesn't pan out badly for any of the big drivers in the top 5. Hopefully, I've got no volume on that, so that's good. Yeah, so we'll see exactly how it works out, and then actually I'm going to get the BBC weather report up. BBC weather, Miami, Florida. Oh, wow, whoa. 78% coverage come 5 o'clock. Track time. No, is that track time? I'd assume it's track time. Yeah, track time. So, it's most likely is. It's going to start dry and then get wet. So, we've just got to hold on. Did you see Max commenting in being slow because... Yeah, no, because isn't it the thing where has anyone seen all of the stuff where it's like Alonso getting super excited because Verstappen now has 2 kids at home, a wife and 2 kids at home, so he has to be slower now. He's not going to go for these dive bombs. Behrman almost crashed out on the lap or crashed on the out lap right now. What? Hang on. Did Behrman just almost crash on a dry bloody track? This is what I'm talking about, by the way. Behrman's actually had quite a risky weekend. So I never pray on one of my normal drivers to get a DNF. But this weekend, This weekend I could do with Bearman, maybe not DNFing, but just trundling at the back. Please, please, because he would still be fine for 0.6 million. He didn't need a lot. Let me show you what he needed. But right now, he's a thorn in my side because he's got too many points. Yeah, he only needs 4. Come on, slow down, Bearman. Yeah, as Bearman playing Fantasy 2, he qualifies 20th. Someone's gotta do this. This is like Ivan Toney in football. So he's betting on himself, isn't he? He's starting P20 so he can get his odds in the bookies higher. And then he's betting on himself to qualify, to finish the race in the top 10. We know what he's doing. What do we think about Donegal on the Sky team? Yeah, nah. What I love, the only good thing about that is when you get all of those videos of like Jensen, just every time she says something crazy, he's just like so like confused. He's just like, what the hell is she talking about? Oh god. Classic Bearman from P20 into the points. Yeah, where did he qualify today? It was low again, wasn't it? Was it P20? I swear to God if it was P20. I can't remember exactly. Because I get excited with all the top front runners. Because obviously that's what I was focusing on this weekend. Yeah, this guy, he needs to be... He's on fraud watch. He's on fraud watch. I can't believe it. P20 again. And you just know he's going to get into the points. Oh, hang on about. Gasly pit lane start. Let's have a look. I'll watch that later. I do like watching that. All right, what are we saying? Will it be on Alpine, F1? What do we think? Or maybe it'll be on the starting lineup. What's Alpine saying? That's the only issue with doing the live streams with no sounds from the TV, because I can't hear what they're saying. I mean, actually, to be fair, it doesn't matter too much for Gasly, because where did he qualify? 18th or something? Yeah, 18th Gasly qualified. Let me actually bring this over here so you guys can see that. 18th for Gasly. If he did start in the pit lane, yes, Bearman loses a few more. No, wait, hang on. Would he get position gain points? No, I don't. No, it's fine. But hopefully Lance Stroll just doesn't do a typical Lance Stroll and just trundles at the back. I don't need that. Annoyingly, Hulkenberg's not staying there. Bortoletto's not staying there. Doohan's not staying there. So that's 1, 2, 3 points for Ollie Bearman, plus overtakes on all 3 of them. That's 6 points right there for Ollie Bearman. Oh, okay, that makes things a little bit interesting. I'm assuming... If anyone could find out for me exactly why, I'm assuming it's similar to the Yuki situation where maybe they're changing the setup. Because, what was it? Yuki started P18 yesterday as well, and they were just like, screw it, we may as well dick about with the car and see what we can do. I'm assuming it's sort of similar thing there. Bevan's just tested the limits. I agree, Barack Obama, I agree. Yeah, okay, yeah, as suspected, yeah. I don't know what they did to that car, but for Gasly to be 18th, something's got to be wrong with it. Considering, I mean, I thought, geez Louise, I thought Gasly was going to be in, where did I put Gasly? I think in a different F1 Fantasy, called Fantasy GP, I put Gasly in top 9. So that's not panned out. Why does it not let me see? I wanted to show you guys my my predictions. Actually, go on. I can show you it on the Discord. Because actually, I want to quickly go through some of my predictions and see how well they're doing. What's going on? Right. Let me get the server up. Is it a server? I don't really know. F1 predicts. Let's get over to here. F1 predicts, everyone, this is, I hope you can see that. I'm going to see on my stream in a second if you can see this. Is it going to work? No, please work. Oh, I don't think it's going to work. Oh, work. Right, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Sadly, I can't show you my predictions on that. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying F1 Predicts at the minute as well, which is also good fun. Why has it signed me out of F1 Fantasy? Sorry, give me a second. I need to put my password in. I can't be doing that live on stream. Otherwise, someone's going to come into my bloody team and then change some stuff about. Also, for anyone interested, the green team's working out brilliantly. I'm not even kidding. If we didn't have the minus 30, considering this is the cheapest team possible in F1 Fantasy, 45 points is not too bad, considering. So, no, I tried. It wouldn't bloody work. It wouldn't bloody work. I tried, and my my bloody what's it called? I don't know what it is. Maybe because it's live and Discord doesn't like showing that sort of stuff. Who knows? But yeah, no. Me and me and this guy last the stream, we decided to both go and see who could make like the worst team possible. And so now we've got Alonso, basically triple Aston Martin, triple Sauber. This is the team. Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. You'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like that. Stroll matching Norris and outscoring Piastri. Yeah, you know who my GOAT is. Right. Hang on, I've got another poll to put in. Is Lance Stroll the GOAT of F1 Fantasy? Yes. No. Brackets. Who are you kidding? Are you meant? Who are you kidding? It's yes. And absolutely yes. Here we go. Because let's get real. We're back on the hype train, baby. We're back on the Stroll hype train. Because let's just go back to the budget builder. If Stroll gets 25 points, which is actually doable, he's only 5 points away from that, by the way. Hey, who's putting no? Who's putting no? I'm pretty sure you meant to put yes or absolutely yes. This is ridiculous. Stroll's going to get a 0.6 million increase. He's going to be on 9.7. Now, that 1 point does hurt him a bit, but if we do the maths, so if Stroll comes into this race, Imola, with 26 points to his name in the last 2 races, and let's say in Imola he's 9.7 million, that would mean, let's say he gets 5 points, so 31 divided by 3 divided by 9.7, he would so that would be what he'd need. So bear in mind, we need 1.2 to increase 0.6, and that's with 5 points. So let's try to figure out, if Stroll had 35 points divided by 3 divided by 9.7. Yeah, if Stroll gets 35 points throughout the next week, from Jeddah, Miami, and Imola, he would go up 0.6 million. So that would mean Stroll would need 9 points to increase maximum in Imola. That's actually insane, considering a lot of drivers are going to struggle. Alonso's now off the cards. Ocon's going to be in a very similar position, but without the big points from Miami. You've then got Doohan, who's just doing Doohan things at the minute. Albon, his price is way too high. So Stroll genuinely, does come back into the cards. Now, probably won't be in anyone's teams just because he's too expensive now, and we're looking at having Piastri, McLaren, Mercedes teams throughout. But it's actually insane. Also, you know who else is coming into teams? If Williams continues this form, let's just go back to this live scoring, yeah? And I'm going to get rid of the minus 20, and they would be on 24 bloody points, with Carlos Sainz actually probably scoring even more. Williams right now, if Sainz kept it together, and Albon didn't get the penalty, would be probably around 40 plus points. Deep that 40 plus points they probably would have been if Albon didn't get a penalty and Sainz didn't screw up as well. Absolutely incredible. Now, they won't end up having it. That's a shame. Also, Haas on 22 points. Can I show this as well? Because this did my head in. Right. I'll take you over to the statistics, I believe it's in. Williams was better because Ferrari is not there. Yeah. 100%. Right, now let me readjust the points because I was showing everyone. I can't remember what I was showing last stream. But bear in mind, I've had Haas in China. Haas worked out. No, did I have Haas in China? Who did I have in China? Oh, God, hang on. Let me go back to the completed. Right, so, get this. I had Williams in China. Yeah. Williams get 26 points to Haas's 47. Australia, Haas got 14 to Mercedes 67. So actually that wasn't too bad for me. But then we go over to Japan. And I'm like, Japan, I've got to bring in Haas now. You know, they're good for budget building. They go get 10 points. I then go in Bahrain and go, well, okay, now I've got to focus more on points because we're budget building. And Haas go and get 40 points compared to Mercedes 20. By bad, 20 points difference. So Mercedes ended on 60 points to Haas's 40. And now, in Jeddah, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to Haas because I need to budget build a little bit more and I can set up my team nicely for a Limitless. And then they go get 12 points to Mercedes 46. Every single time I take out Haas, they do good. And, lo and behold, Haas on 22 points. And guess who's not using them? Me, because I'm using Limitless with Mercedes. So basically, what the big plan is now for F1 Fantasy is if I take out Haas from my team, you know they're going to get 40 plus points in a weekend. 20 plus, 40 plus points in a weekend, so you should just bring in Haas. That is... Yeah, Haas will score now 40 plus points because I don't have them. 100% because I'm not using them right now. And then I will switch from Haas to Mercedes in Imola, and then they'll go do it again because I won't have Haas again. 100%. Yeah, so Magics, let me show you what I've got weather-wise. The issue, obviously, it's BBC, so it's British weather reports, so they're probably rubbish. But that's what's worrying me, okay? The 78% chance at 5 o'clock race time, which is when the race starts. And then for those, basically 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock are the main race times, which means I would be very surprised if we didn't even get a bit of rain coming down. Now, this one is heavy rain. Yeah, let me get up the some, like, I don't know, what's a good weather report in the US? Because I would have no idea where to start. Actually, yeah. Where's the weather radar? Are you? Is that on the on the actual now, like on the F1 TV bollocks, or have you got like a way to check the weather thingy? Google is best. Yeah, I'll just give Google a go. Let's have a look. Heavy thunderstorms. Yeah, everyone thinks precipitation levels. Okay, let's get this over here. Precipitation levels. Yeah, everywhere is saying it's gonna be around 70 to 50% at race start. But the race starts in 20 minutes. The race starts in 20 bloody minutes. Weather Network. Okay, let's check Weather Network as well. We're checking everything. We will get down to which one, because so far they're all saying around 70-50%. Let's give this one a crack. Miami. Yeah, Miami, Florida. No, not Miami, Arizona. Miami, Arizona. Who's checking that? Right. Miami, Florida. Sorry for anyone who lives in Miami, Arizona. Humidity, that's not what I need. Where's the bloody rain? Right, here we go. Here's the radar. And it's nearer to Fort Lauderdale, isn't it? Is it gonna... Oh, bloody hell. Right, here we go. Hopefully this is actually showing on the live stream. We're gonna have flood damaged F1 cars for auction then. Oh, sign me up. I wish I had money to spend on stuff like that. Sadly, I'm not a millionaire. I know, sad times. Right, so this is my time, but it's actually for the race. So yeah, look, it's that cloud, isn't it? It's this cloud coming in to the race that's worrying everyone. So if I go, so 9 p.m. is when the race starts my time, and I'm assuming, yeah, it's still my time. So don't worry, this is 5 o'clock Miami time, whenever the race starts, or 4 o'clock Miami time, whatever. But how close is that gonna get? So this is 10 minutes into the race, 20 minutes. It does go straight over Miami, but right, yeah, right, cool. Whoever sent me that zip code, you are a legend. Let me bring this over here and sort it out. Yeah, or I could just put it in the autodome. True. Right, let's get this bloody weather up. Miami auto. Ah, come on, come on. Let me try the zip code. Right, someone sent the zip code, and I believe it should be now more focused on. Hey, it's not going to bloody show it. Oh well, whatever. I can't be asked. I've just realised I was still on this one as well, because I had it on my other screen. Basically, end of the day, rain's potentially got to come, and we're getting big cloud. We're getting a big cloud moving closer and closer. If it will get there, who knows? But we'll see. Right, I've got 5 more minutes of this live stream, and then I've got to start getting ready for the actual race. So put in all your questions about F1 Fantasy. How you feeling about the race? You know what? I'm also gonna do now. Oh, see, 44%. Everyone knows Will in this live stream. Lance Stroll is the GOAT. I agree. Oh yeah, hang on. Let me check the TV. Okay, yeah. Go over there. Yeah, there's just a big grey cloud from all I can see. What's the difference between what do you mean, like wet and inters? So blue is wet, so you know when it's like hammering it down, and then inters for like mixed conditions, raining but nothing crazy rain. Do you see any race data along? Yeah, actually, see, I hate this race data, but I can show you where to find it, because this race data last season was the death of so many F1 Fantasy weekends I had, where I was like, oh, Mercedes race pace, it looked terrible. You don't want to be using that. So if we go over to Miami news, it should be, where is it? Ah, come on, show me what I want to see. People know where I'm trying to get to. Hang on. Do they not show it on a sprint race weekend? Is there not enough data for them to show? Because basically what I'm trying to find for everyone is what normally, if I go to Saudi Arabia, if you go to news, normally there's a... What the bloody hell is it? Is it hiding from me? What's going on? I feel like I'm going crazy. Right, I can't keep looking at this because I'm gonna run out of time. I feel like I'm going crazy. Oh, my bad. Anyway, where's this guy? I don't even have Norris. I wanted to win, so to show honestly, well, we know how lucky he could be at Miami now. Now, I'm sort of in two minds about it, because Piastri cut the corner, meaning he kept track position, meaning he pitted first. So that meant Norris got lucky. And I still do think that Norris, if Piastri didn't cut that corner with the DRS, he probably would have actually overtaken him into that the final corner. Well, not technically, it's not the final. Second to last corner, the hairpin. You know which one I'm talking about. Cheers, Brad. Yeah, true. Actually, Bumbo, ridiculous. Will we ever see the wet tyres being used? Probably not. because apparently we can't race in it anymore. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I still don't get why they couldn't have just gone start the race. Because imagine this, right? The race got dry around lap 12. But what would have been better? What would have been better if we started on the wets? Everyone going crazy. Stop laughing. If we started on the wets and then went to inters, then you would have seen a lot more dilemmas about, do we stick on the wets, do we stick on inters? I think there would have been more of that, but everyone sort of just saw how dry it got and went, boom, right, dries. Yeah, Magic, man. Best of luck to you for the F1 Fantasy stuff. You too enjoy the race. Everyone, thank you so much. It is now 8:45, so the race starts in 15 minutes. Was he actually? I think. I don't know. But was it because of the debris that he didn't pit? Who knows? Anyway, right, I'm getting off on a tangent anyway because I've got to go. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you all for the support. By the way, for anyone that Prog by Samus, I use some of his music in my background of my videos. So you'll see I at him in some of my videos. That's where you'll recognize him from. But yeah, like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. For anyone who actually wants to get on the Twitter polls as well, just before we finish, I've got loads of fun polls over here. But anyway, as always, everyone, thank you all so much for joining me on this pre-race show. I don't need to show my China team. I need to show this weekend team. This is what my Limitless team looks like. We're hoping for a Norris win, a Verstappen win, an Antonelli fastest lap, Antonelli driver of the day, something like that along the lines, and Limitless will still work out. But anyway, I will be back live once I get back on Monday. So probably around 7:30 British summertime. So basically a full day after the race, but it does mean I'll definitely have the full points to show to everyone. And we'll talk a little bit about heading into Imola as well. But annoyingly, we do have a week break of F1, which is a shame. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope everyone's F1 Fantasy teams carries on. Well, it improves for anyone who's done Limitless without Norris 2 times. And again, for anyone who's used no negative, good on ya. It's worked out pretty well. But anyway, let's see what happens in the race. It's going to be a good one. Quickly, before I go off, Nixie said, FIA official rain risk for the race is only 30%. Thought it'd be higher, given what people have said. I also thought it'd be higher as well, because we've had a big cloud coming our way. Maybe it's going to miss. Potentially that. Who knows? But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back on your screens, like I said, on Monday. No video, though, until Wednesday. Then again, Wednesday, Friday videos. Probably a fan amp one somewhere on the weekend as well. And then next week, Monday, the week after this, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, normal stuff. Thank you all so much for watching. See you all later. Have a good rest of your weekend.